everybody, and welcome back again to another episode of the one, the only, the WyOriginal podcast. You are here with your host, it's Jared,
Angel Maldonado,
Dominic Syracuse.
You know it's Johnny. It's Johnny. You already know.
What's up, everybody?
I think he's a pilot today.
Oh, that's it. Look at him. I love it. Johnny, look at you right now. Will you do me a favor, Johnny? Will you just as loud as you can scream, "Good morning, Vietnam"?
Good morning, Vietnam. This dude's
We're
cruising.
in it. We're feeling fresh. So listen, this was like an exciting impromptu episode of the show that we were like, we got to get this in. We have an amazing guest who I'm going to introduce in a sec. But I got to talk about the serendipity real quick. You see, we got a flag rocking over here. We're all representing something in some way, which is insane. We just showed up like this. We didn't plan this or coordinate it.
Check it out. It's like, it's the universe, right?
Right.
It's God. So check it. I'm at my son's graduation. Shout out to my son Jordan for graduating.
Yeah.
5th grade. About to hit the junior high level. So shout out to that. That's a big announcement. And what was nice about the graduation, each kid got to pick country and bring food.
Right.
So he got a chance to pick Puerto Rico. So it just worked out so sweet. We Puerto Rican. And it was kind of cool, too, because I'm going to be in New York this week. And it's the biggest Puerto Rican Day parade. So it's about to be going crazy. And it's crazy how we come with all this extra culture to the set, not even knowing. So they go to University God working.
Just random. I love, so there's a brand called Denim and Flower, and they do like these collabs where they do like Black History, they do like women empowerment, whatever it is, and they had it's called Lift Every Voice collection. So
nice.
And I love it. This is just like one of the shirts, and I don't know. I had no reason to. I just wanted to rep it today. So
universe,
I don't know.
I'm telling you.
Well, and my thing was, I literally was like, shoot, we got to record this podcast, and I have been in bed all day. So I'm going to throw on like the most colorful thing I have, right? So I just threw this on because it's like flashy and it satisfies my need for attention. And here's the craziest part, okay?
Facts.
We show up. Is there a way you can show this real quick? Can we just show Jared's shoes real fast? Turns out, look at this. You're a dancer. I know you can stretch. His shoes match my jacket. And look what my jacket says. You see this? You getting
Burton.
this? Burton. That's Jared's last name. Are you seeing this?
That's pretty cool.
There's
That's
a lot of
culture today.
There's a lot of culture.
Honestly, what's so dope about the set today, we have culture we about to represent.
That's what I'm saying.
What an art form.
There could not be a better person, a better guest here to represent this. Because that is actually why I wanted to throw a lot of color on, is because we have our dude Eddie in the studio, the founder of Paint Slingers.
Goes by
here in town. Goes by
tag name. The illest. You see the hat.
Illest over here. We're super happy to have you, man. Thank you so much for making the time to come to the studio.
Thanks for having me.
And talk about it. Now, for those that don't know, you're responsible for some of the best murals, some of the best artwork all around town. In fact, I heard you even left a project just to come here today. Is that true?
I actually just finished the project right before I got here, but yeah.
Nice.
No way. What's the project? What are you working on?
So right now it's the Johnson Pool over on the south side, Old Lincoln Park. I just got commissioned to do a little quick job out there. Part of what Paint Slingers does is that creates murals. These murals kind of deter a lot of the illegal vandalism that happens, so it's a plus for everybody.
I like it.
Nice.
And I always, every time I see something spectacular, this the only question that comes into my mind. How in the hell did you find out that you could do what you do? Like, you don't just wake up in one morning and be like, you know what? I feel like I could do this.
Nice. So growing up in Denver, like when I was a kid growing up, I used to draw a bunch of like Looney Tunes, Disney characters and stuff like that. So I had a lot of friends that wrote graffiti, and a lot of them were like, yo, man, you got these dope characters that you can do. Not a lot of graffiti artists or a lot of like taggers can do characters, so they kind of recruited me that way.
Nice.
And so originally I was just doing characters for people, Originally they gave me the name Riot when I was a kid. And they would do my lettering for me, you know, and I would just do characters for everybody, you know, like.
Wow, there you go.
But then after a while, I kind of felt like a sucker, you know, so I was like, man, I better start doing letters too, you know, like I can't be just doing characters all the time.
I'm like, all I got is a J. That's all I got. That's the only one I learned. So this is what we got.
That's what's up. So check it, like, it's nice having Eddie on the show. When I first met Eddie, he came to me talking about doing a sponsorship, and that's a big part of this show today. We're still in his category of the paint stickers accepting sponsorships and more people that want to be more helpful to see more of this art. But he came into the shop, and I was like, yeah, I definitely want to be a part of that. And he did the baddest art on the back of the studio door. And he's responsible for that.
It's sick.
It was all about Funeral Friday.
Yeah. I'm gonna. Right.
Yeah, definitely take some pictures. Unfortunately, I'm not sure if somebody was upset or whatever. So, you know, I don't think it was so much the art. The only thing that got messed up recently, somebody threw some paint on the Funeral Friday shirt. So maybe somebody didn't get selected. So just know, if you are watching this and you are responsible for that, I'm really not that upset at you. This guy right here was responsible for that great work. So you might want to come apologize to this guy. And you know what? We all about community anyway. We want to keep everybody up. So maybe you just wasn't feeling good, but that wasn't a way to show your emotion. But he did a great piece for me as well. And exciting news, we're going to change that up.
For sure.
And we're going to make a WyOriginal out of this. So we're going to get pictures, videos, and we're going to stay tuned for more on that. But when I met Eddie, very genuine, came to me and was showing me his ideas of the levels he wanted to take paint slingers. And he works with so many amazing artists that do show up and just help the whole community. Like it's really, like, I don't know, it's like going to a gallery outside, just watching people paint the whole day. It was like 3 days, right? 2 days?
Yeah, it's 3-day event, but Saturday's like the main day when everybody's really like, people are coming out, everybody's painting,
nice.
Live DJ playing music and stuff like that. So
well, okay, I want to ask you about this and how this came to be, because the way I heard about it, it was crazy. So WyOriginal is going to be broadcasting live in next month for the Wyoming International Film Festival. We're going to be interviewing a bunch of filmmakers from all over the world are coming in to Wyoming. And it's going to be great. It's eligible to see. Now, last year was the first year we did this. And we went to visit Cheyenne. And we were like, hey, we're going to have over 100 filmmakers from all over the world. They're going to be coming in. What's some stuff they can do? And Visit Cheyenne was like, oh, well, they got to go up to the parking garage because the paint slingers are doing up the entire parking garage. And it's like a whole day of it. And it's a whole celebration. And I was like, wait. What? I mean, that blew my mind, because it was so funny that just happened on the exact weekend that WyOriginal happened, because then we can just be like, oh yeah, welcome to Cheyenne, all you people from all over the world. Yeah. This is just what we do all the time. But it's not what we do all the time. In fact, I grew up in this town, and if you were to have told me 15 years ago that we have some street artists and graffiti artists and everything coming in, and they're going to do up all this government property and get paid for it, I'd be like, you're in the wrong place. Like, there's no way that ever happened here. How did that come to be? How'd the idea come? How'd you get that to happen?
So originally in Denver, they have an event called the Colorado Crush. My friend Dredd used to put the Crush together, and he used to bring street artists from like all over the world. He brought guys from Greece, the graffiti artists from Italy, the graffiti artists from Spain, and it was just it was in the Rhino Art District, so it's like a 30 block radius in the city, and it was just artists all over, and when I started painting that Crush, part of me was like, man, like I wish I could bring this to Wyoming, like just this little kind of a vibe, like it's just cool to see the art going up as it happens, like not just to see the mural when it's done, but when you see the graffiti artists actually like putting their work in, and you see how it comes together, like because sometimes you're looking at it and you're like, I don't see nothing there, you come back 30 minutes later and then you're like, damn, so
talking about work, not to you talking about work in the action. Who's responsible for the Ice Cube piece that just went up when Ice Cube came out? Let's talk about that.
I was just about to ask that. Was that him? Was that you?
Yeah, that was me. That was me.
Dude, Okay, so you said you grew up in Denver though. So how did you make it down here to Cheyenne?
I mean, we moved here. My parents, we all moved here and stuff. And
okay, I got you.
When I was younger, and so yeah, like that was when I just started kind of tagging up, and like I think one of the reasons that my dad wanted to move here was because I was always tagging on the streets. I was out running the streets all the time.
Gotcha.
My sister was out getting in trouble. We were just like kind of some little young gutter kids, you know, and my dad was like, you know what, we need to move around. We need to get out of here, because.
And now you're getting paid to do the tagging.
yeah. It's awesome. It's an awesome feeling, man.
And a founder of a great organization.
I'm actually glad you brought that up because that was my big question was, you were talking about now, you cover up a lot of the stuff, something that might have gotten tagged or something like that, right? But what I'm wondering is, so when did that transition happen from being like, I'm a kid on the street. I'm assuming sneaking out in the middle of the night. I'm assuming there might have been some of your early artwork on a lot of the trains in town.
Yeah.
Something like that, right?
Yeah, I still get some trains every now and then.
Yeah, when you say, right? But then all of a sudden, like, first of all, when did you start seeing the culture of town shift that you knew you could be like, hey, let me actually do this as a form of like valid art and not what the politicians would consider vandalism? When did that? That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I'm not sure. It just kind of happened. I know in high school I had a teacher. He caught me tagging up in the bathroom one time. When he had came in, he was a really good art teacher of mine. A lot of people know who he is, John Arsenega. He's an awesome art teacher, and he kind of gave me a second chance at that moment. He was like, "What are you doing?" And I told him I was like, "I'm sorry, I'll clean it." And he was like, "Yeah, damn right, you're gonna clean it." But like after I cleaned it, he was like, "When you're done cleaning that, come and talk to me." So I was like, "All right." I went and talked to him, and then the year after that, I was his art teacher assistant and stuff like that. And he just kind of inspired me to like. I think when I got that second chance, like from somebody who like could have just turned me in and could have, like threw me through the book at me, and when he kind of gave me that second chance, he kind of made me realize I have a talent, like and then just meeting other like street artists around that time, who were actually getting paid for this. I was kind of like, dang, like I could be getting paid for this too, and so like. I joke about like tagging up on trains and stuff like that still, like, and you get an itch, like when you grew up doing that, sometimes you want to go out and like, so I mean, when I go get trains or something like that, I'm like, we do stuff like cover the numbers, like just to make sure that like, because the railroad, they really don't care, as long as they can see those numbers, because those numbers have certain significance. And but like there's some bombers and stuff like that don't know how to do that, they just go out there and they bomb over everything, and then but I mean like there's even like hitting up on the trains, there was people who would be like, man, I love seeing the stuff on the trains. I think the stuff on the trains is awesome, like, and so, when I started realizing that people had an appreciation for graffiti art, and then just seeing it like in commercials, like, Sprite commercials, and, sneaker commercials, where like graffiti's just on there. It's like, how are these dudes getting paid to be doing what I do? You know what I'm saying?
It's the American dream. As soon as the government figures out how to make money on something, they will merchandise it. They will take over. I mean, even like like my Act 2 logo. Like we literally made it a graffiti too because we thought the graffiti was cool. So it's popular now. It's so it'd be crazy. It's like legalizing marijuana. It'd be crazy. You still putting people in jail and you trying to make money off of it now. Like I think what you did, like you said, going from vandal to actually making it legit or whatever, absolutely genius. I've seen pretty much all your work around time, and I think everything that you've done is beautiful. I want to get with our studio owner because all our walls are blank in the studio. So I think it'd be dope to have a dope mural in there. So we'll talk about that. But what's next? What projects?
What I liked about his answer. The respect, you know what I mean? The passion, like I have this passion, but I also am going to respect the level of my passion and the people's property that what they would consider vandalizing, but as long as I don't, like you said with the train, the numbers and stuff, like there's significance, but they like it. And the fact that you're not just going out there like, I'm about to just blast somebody and just, they're going to know who I am.
Well, he took the time out
I'm
to
hearing
learn
passion and respect for the game, the hustle, the culture. And that's why I feel like it's deserving for you to have took your idea to the next level being a founder because you were ready. Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and on that, because I want to get, I mean, I'm curious about what Jared asked about what you got moving forward, but to go back in time for a sec, the through line, right, between even when you were just a kid vandalizing and drawing cartoons or whatever to now where you're getting commissioned by the city and by businesses to do these big pieces of art, was your, I mean, was your craft always the center of your focus? Like, even when you were just a kid getting in trouble in the bathroom? I mean, how much was making a good, cool, legit piece, how important was that to you?
Oh, it's important. Like, I mean, if I do something bad, like, I hate myself for it, I'm just like, man, like, but, I mean, and that's the thing about, like, tagging, too, that, like, a lot of people don't realize is a lot of people see tags, and they just think, like, oh, it's just some scribble on a wall, but there's actually like a lot of like a long process of perfecting your tag, how you want it to be, how you want it to flow, how you want it to be composed with like in one big like tag, like if you want to put your halos on there, your quotes, whatever you want to put on there, just to make your tag look. I mean, tags are just a piece of art to me as well, like, and even like the throwaways, like a lot of people hate, like, they feel like that's vandalism, but like to me coming up with that, like I know that there's a technique that's involved in doing a nice clean throwy, so
throwy.
What's a throwy?
Throwies are like just the bubble letters, like you might see some down here.
Oh, something quick like
Ames underpass.
Oh, okay.
Like, where it's just like you got the hollow throwies where it's just an outline, and then you got like the fill-in throwies where it's like the color's like filled in, and then it comes with an outline, so it's like white with just a black outline, nice thick white black outline.
Hold on, educate us real quick. What are some of the other things? So a throwy is bubble letters. The halo is like
halos is just like a halo, like that's over an angel's head.
Right.
So sometimes some taggers will like throw their tag up, and then like in the middle, like and it's usually over the letter A for angel, I'm guessing. But like they'll throw
I told you, I'm everywhere. You know what I'm saying?
But like they'll throw like a little halo over the letters or something, or sometimes you'll put like little stars or something on the side of the letters. But I mean, you got like your tags, which is just like your signature as a graffiti artist.
Right.
You got your throwies, which are just like your bubble letters and stuff like that. You got pieces, which are pieces like where you actually put some style to it. You fill it with the color. You might do like 3D effects and stuff on it. And then you got like your masterpieces or your burners, which are like full productions where you got like your characters, your pieces,
Would that be like something you did today?
No. Today was just a commission piece, man.
That's just commission.
Yeah. Okay. It's just art today. But like I would say like a burner or a masterpiece would be something like probably like stuff like I'm trying to think of like what walls we did. I mean like my Frida piece, that's kind of like a burner, because it's the whole wall. Yeah. I got like my Frida centerpiece. I got like my graffiti piece along the bottom.
Got you.
I tagged up like her name kind of along the top in the same 3D style that I'm kind of getting.
So it's a really
for.
Big piece.
Yeah. It's just a real big piece that's like a whole concept. You know what I'm saying? It's not just like just the graffiti piece. It's like you're adding all these.
So those are like the Picassos of the streets.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, and speaking of Picasso, I mean, when I think of like a painter like a Picasso or like a Da Vinci, whatever, they got their tools, right? So they got like their brushes and the different kinds of brushes. Everything does a different thing. But when you're tagging, when you're doing graffiti, you just got a big can, right? Like you just got the spray can. So okay, I'll be real. I've stenciled a penis or two on stuff, but the thing is, like, whenever I do it, pardon the pun, it always drips all over the place. Like the paint runs everywhere. That's not what I meant, Angel.
The light was bright.
Anyway, no, that's the thing. It always like drips and runs, and I see some artists do that on purpose, and they make it look cool as hell. But then I see other stuff like the Ice Cube mural or the stuff at the top of the parking garage. Some of it is so freaking clean. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Crispy. Like what? I mean, is that the kind of techniques you practice growing up? I mean, what even is that?
Yeah, I mean, we call it can control.
Can control.
That's the name of this episode, by the way.
For the rookies in the game.
Every episode, we find the name of the episode. The name of this episode is Can Control.
Yeah.
But for the rookies, pay attention.
All right, so like I'll let you in on a secret with this.
Okay, nice.
So there's different kinds of paint. You have like your Rust-Oleum, which is probably what you're using because you can buy it at the store. It's easily accessible. It's high pressure and it has like a lot of high water content in it, so that's why you get all those drips and stuff because it's coming out at a high pressure and it's thinner, so like that paint just drips. A lot of the graffiti artists, today we have different brands of paint that we use, and a lot of that brand, the paint that's made for graffiti artists is usually a low pressure and it has a thicker content. There's not as much water in the content, which can plug up your caps, but at the same time, it's when you could run a line real like close to the wall, you could you could run it slow. So as you run it kind of like a little bit slow, I mean, it'll still drip if you go too slow, but you could run it slower than you do the Rust-Oleum. You also have caps, like there's a lot of different caps. There's like thin caps, fat caps, astro caps, flare caps,
So you just put a different cap on the can that you're using, and you get a different. I didn't know any of this.
Yeah,
I thought you like squeeze it at an angle, and it just.
I mean, you got some people who have like supreme can control. Who they can take a Rust-Oleum can.
Yeah.
Am I one of those people? Yeah.
He's like, that's me.
You can take a.
I'm nice. I'm the GOAT.
Somebody's name is the illest.
I'm the illest. Didn't he just say that?
You can't call
He's
the
GOAT.
illest
without
dominant.
Yeah, I can't be the
can
illest.
control.
Talking about I don't got can control. Come on, get out of here.
I mean, with you just learn how to run your cans and like get them close to the wall, get those like thin crispy lines and stuff like that. But
I want to chime in real quick because this episode kind of hits my heart a little bit because when we grew up in New York, my brother was an artist, and I feel like I come from the mecca of graffiti. There's so many graffiti artists, and my brother, shout out to my brother David, AKA Power was his tag name.
Hell yeah.
And I learned a lot about graffiti through my brother because he got accepted to art and design in New York. That's like one of the most highest respected schools you could get accepted to, and my brother's nice, like even to this day. But he always had passion, and I learned when you got passion as an artist, you got markers and a black book. And like it's just white pages. That's like your canvas when you start tagging. So I started learning about the markers you get because you even be tagging walls with markers, not just going out there with a can. So like I'm starting to learn graffiti through my brother because we come from that. You know what I'm saying? You seeing graffiti everywhere. So I just want to say shout out to my brother and him taking the time out to like learn that because I'm watching Eddie and I kind of knew a little bit about graffiti from dealing with my brother at such an early age and got accepted to art and design. So shout out to that.
And what I appreciate about what you're saying, and I think this is a through line to all artists. All of us are artists here in one way or another. I'm a stand-up, Jared's a dancer. Angel, especially like if you want to see a piece of art, check out my hair after I leave. Angel,
Same.
I'm telling you. No, you want to know what's funny? This is a truth. This is just to give you a little bit of flowers.
Thank you.
My wife refuses to let me have my hair cut by anybody but Angel. Anybody. And the thing is, she didn't even know it was you. That's the funny part. I'd always get my hair cut, and she'd always be like, "You look like one of the penises you try to graffiti." Like, I couldn't get it right. And I'd tell people what I want, and it wouldn't work, and I've been all around town.
Man.
And I didn't even tell you what I want. I just sat down in the chair, and we were talking about a podcast episode, and you were just doing up my hair. And then I got done. I come home. My wife's like, "Who cut your hair?"
That's it.
Yeah, that's right. Like, that looks so good. That's all. And now it's like all the kids can only go to Angel, everybody. And then Johnny, I won't tell anybody what you do for your art, Johnny.
No.
Yeah, that's
we're gonna shut that down. Yeah.
Episode.
But the point is, we're all artists here.
Facts.
And I think a through line with all art is exactly what you're talking about, where at the end of the day, like whether you're getting paid for it or not, there's this like burning urge to where it's like, so long as what I'm doing is always my absolute best.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, so long is what I'm. So on to that. Let's get back to Jared's question.
Facts. Let's get back to that.
I want to hear what's the next. What's on the agenda?
So we got Paint Slingers coming up July 15th. This is the 8th annual Paint Slingers. We're focusing on the upper level of the parking garage once again. So we're bringing a lot of artists in again this year. We're going to try to get a few walls if we can. If not, it's no big deal right now to us. We are still looking for sponsorships for the event. We have a few sponsors.
How can those sponsors find you? How can they contact you? Like, talk to them now.
The sponsors can get a hold of me through my email, which is illestpro, ILESTPRO @gmail.com.
Nice.
Or they can reach us out on our Facebook page. We have a Paint Slingers Facebook page. The website right now is under construction again.
Nice.
But right now, the best way to get a hold of me would be either through my email or through the message on Facebook.
And we'll make sure we put that at the end of this episode so they can check
we'll
in
add
with
it
you.
in. Yeah,
okay, sure. Also, so next is that show. What kind of help would you like look forward for, like someone like your locals? Like, is there any volunteer work some people could do to help you out? Like, what other help you need besides sponsorships?
So this year, one of the things that I'm also trying to focus on is I'm looking for the hustlers, the food hustlers. You know, the people who sell burritos out of their car, the people who sell tamales out of their car, or the yelotero man who pushes a shopping cart. You know, like anybody who's willing to bring food up to our people up there, because we can't get food trucks on the top level of the parking garage. Right. So, and I also want to support those people because I feel like I have a soft spot for those people, you know, like when I see them on the side of the highway and they're selling that stuff, I'm always buying it, even if I'm not hungry, you know, like
community
I'll buy
shout out to that.
Yeah, I'll buy a few burritos, you know, like, and maybe take them to work and give the burritos to somebody else, you know, but like just to support that person's hustle, you know, and so I'm looking for those people this year.
Look, food hustlers, you heard it here. He wants you there.
Yeah.
Make sure you're there.
Even
coordinate
like little
early.
kids, I want to sell lemonade, you know, like if
Let's
little
go.
kids want to come up there and throw a lemonade stand, I'm cool with that.
I like it. People helping people.
That's what I'm talking about, man.
That's what we here for.
Because I mean, the sponsorships are cool, but you can always use that as extra help, especially from your community. WyOriginal, let's get to it.
So everybody has, like, you know, look, so for me living here, like as a dancer, you know, big dream, like big thing, like, oh, I'm really there, like is like doing like backup for like a CFD artist or whatever like that. There's a wall. Is there a wall in the city? You're like, I'm gonna paint that motherfucker one day. One day, like that wall is mine.
Yeah.
Oh, I know he got it.
Yeah. There's actually a lot of walls I want to paint.
Without getting in trouble.
Yeah. You know, like that's one thing that, like, as a graffiti artist, you're always looking around the city and you're like, man, like it'd be dope to paint this. Absolutely. You know, like it'd be dope to paint that wall. You know. Yeah. I know one of the walls that I'm actually focusing on right now too, and it's a huge wall, and it'd be an awesome wall to paint. And it's actually for some friends of mine, the ones who had lost their daughter, the one who was shot on Dow Range. They had reached out to me and they talked to me about commissioning a wall, and it's actually the back side of the Lincoln, and you can see it. It's kind of over the Sanford's wall that I had did, and I just think that wall would be awesome to paint. You know, it's such a huge.
Who do
wall.
we contact to make sure we could get that to happen? Because I mean, you know, we are going to touch a little bit about last week's episode of taking care of our youth and give you guys some help and avenues, because we got to make sure, like, we don't just say one thing and not keep following up every day and every time. But who could we talk to make that important to get that done? Like, how does that happen? Like, I mean, because you're in these streets, so you pick stuff, and then, you know, police got to get involved because we had to do that with the back wall so the police don't bother you. Like, how could we help, or what could we talk to so the people on the podcast listen so we could help get that done?
It's mainly the owners of the property that we need permission from. As long as we got permission from the property owners, we can always go out and do that wall. We don't need we don't need no permits or nothing like that. As long as that owner says, yeah, we're giving this wall up to you. You can do whatever you want with it, you know, like, or you can paint this commission piece on it, you know, like, we're gonna go out there and we're gonna paint it, you know. So I know the Lincoln, John and Renee, you know, like they're good friends of mine, you know, so I can talk to them about that wall, and hopefully we can get that
I think
wall.
As a community, and that is really a soft spot that, you know, we are losing our youth, and we're gonna definitely advocate to make a better example of ourselves, putting ourselves in more of a responsible accountability to make sure that doesn't happen. But I think that would be great to get that done. Because I know
Absolutely.
you've
Yeah,
done this
definitely.
before, and I think it was the wall for the kid. Wasn't it? What's his name, Isaiah or something?
Yeah, so I did Elijah Models.
Elijah, that was his
Models
name,
wall.
yes.
That's one of the memorial walls I did. I did my mom's memorial wall. I did the Silas Ojeda wall, the one that's to help her raise awareness for child abuse.
So even in your art, you advocate to
Yeah, definitely.
promote these avenues for, like, let's change, like, let's be better together. So I think that would be a great opportunity. Hopefully people are listening to this cast, and maybe we could get together with some other people to make sure we get that done.
Definitely.
I think that'll be really cool.
Absolutely. And I'll, it's funny. It kind of all comes together, having you on, and you're a part of exactly what we want here at WyOriginal, which is what this whole thing is about, which is we talk about it all the time about how the city's passing the baton. Our generation has taken it over, and this is what we want to do with it. We want to start creating things that are community focused, that help each other out, that use people's skills in one way or another, just to bring us all together. And I feel like that's something that's been really lacking in the community for a really long time, or it's been happening underground, and now it's being displayed on walls and on the computer screens and all that stuff. But it's funny because the cool thing is just by you doing your great work, the word's spreading around. So we talked last week, and I was talking about this before the show. So Ivan Moody, the lead singer of Five Finger Death Punch, has moved to Cheyenne, and he's creating a couple cool things. He's one of the guys who's like, I just want to bring cool stuff to town. So he's creating Moody's Rock Shop, which is like this music themed, it's like a convenience store, gas station, plus it's going to have like all of his personalized products and all this stuff in his fun. But he's also creating a rehabilitation center, right, for anybody, youth, adults, anybody who's going through. Oh, sorry, I say it wrong. It's not it's a intensive outpatient center for anybody who might be needing that. But anyway, he's throwing this big party, and he's wanting it to be this huge thing for the community. Anybody come out, he's gonna be there. They're gonna be doing this big celebration, food trucks, music. And I was talking to him about putting it together, and he goes, "Yo, do you know who did that Ice Cube mural?" Because he's like, I drove downtown and I knew Ice Cube was playing, and I saw this beautiful Ice Cube mural. He's like, do you know who that is? Like, could you talk to him and see if he wants to come and work together? And it's like, that's the coolest thing, because that, to me, that's what art's about. It's like you throw up an idea for the world to see, and you never know who's going to see it and be like, whoever did that, I want to collaborate with. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. So it's super cool to have you here on the show. It's super cool that you took the time to come and talk about it. We got some great stuff going on. Last thing, is there anything that you want to plug, or is there anything you want to ask now that this is going out to everybody? This is your time.
That's why I told you, Eddie. That's why it's a pleasure to have you here, and I'm glad you accepted to come on, because I think you're genuine. Your heart's in it, you're passionate, but let the people know like what you want, what you need, the help, everything. We kind of got into it, but it's your take.
Definitely sponsors again.
Yeah,
that's one of the big things. That's what helps keep Paint Slingers going. Last year, I almost made that the last year, because we barely had enough money for to put the event together. Luckily, I had a friend of mine who works at Be Good in Denver, Colorado, and he also has the plug for paint. So we were able to provide paint packages to a lot of the artists last year. But it always helps with sponsors, to kind of come through. Also with lodging, lodging is like one of the big things, because we have a lot of artists that come from Denver. We have some that are coming from Pueblo. Sometimes we have them that come from New Mexico. So I would like to get them lodging, so they're not having to come here and then sleep in their cars. I've had some artists, who had to sleep in their cars, or just
passion,
because they wanted to come paint, and it's like, man, I wish I could have got you a room, So if there's like a hotel out there that's willing to give up lodging, for the artists that come, that'd be awesome. We would make you a huge sponsor for the event. Other than that, like I said, like the hustlers and like anybody who just like supports like the art and sees like the actual art of graffiti art, we love you, and it's and like it doesn't just have to happen during Paint Slingers, like I'm here year round, so if you have a wall and you're just like, man, I just want to put something cool on that wall, or I just want to like, you know, let somebody like do a nice graffiti piece on the wall if they want, you know, like or my wall always gets tagged, you know, like reach out to us, you know, like there's it's not just me in this town, you know, there's a few other graffiti writers in this town that I'm real close to, you know, and any of us would be willing to go out there and, you know, rock pieces on their walls.
You want to shout them out real quick? Give them a shout out.
So you got Spew, you got G'd Up, Mersk is another one who's kind of he's coming up, you know, and stuff in the graffiti world as well. We got like Zoomer and Cosm in Fort Collins. You know, they're 30 minutes away. They would love to come down and paint. To Sega, he's back here in town. I don't know if you all know who that is.
Sega.
It was about maybe, I would say a few years ago, there was a whole lot of like Sega tags like all over town. Like he got all over it, but like, I mean, this dude goes, he's like he's almost international, you know. He's like, I think he said he's only hit up in like, there's like 5 states that he hasn't like.
That's dope.
Hit up in,
wow,
this guy
really.
Yeah, and he's gonna be painting at Paint Slingers this year. He's actually on the legit mode now, you know, so he ain't worried about like getting busted and stuff like that.
Nice.
But, he's back here in Wyoming now, you know, and so.
I like it.
He's an awesome dude, man. Like,
man,
he looks like a member of the Backstreet Boys. Like, you would think that he was like, you would think he was a graffiti artist when you seen her, you know. But
Backstreet's back.
Yeah.
All right.
So, you got anything else you want to shout out? Anyone else you want to give some love to?
Who I want to give love to is your tongue, your fam, whoever. Like,
shout outs to Desiree Brothy. She was one of the biggest people that helped Paint Slingers come together, man. Like, and she helped boost that level of that Paint Slingers is at right now, and without her help, I couldn't be where I'm at right now with Paint Slingers. Shout out to my mentor, my tattoo mentor, Trin, at the Tribe Zoo Tattoo.
Shout out to Trinidad.
Nice.
Tribe Zoo Tattoo.
Forever West Tattoo Festival. That was the whole reason Paint Slingers even started. You know, was because
that's one of the next ones, the Tribe West Fest, because Trinidad's been working diligently with that. So,
Talk about a WyOriginal, man. Trinidad.
Yeah.
That's a man.
Who else you got to shout out? Who else? I know there's a bunch. I know it's a list.
Dude, I have a lot, man. All my old crews, KD, CS, the X-Men crew, man. All like everybody that I grew up with. My original CS members, Brisk, Majestic, Day One, rest in peace. Shy Boy and Wonder, you know, like all these cats, tunes with MHK, man. The MHK back in the day, you know, like we used to, they were the ones that really put me on, you know, and like,
nice.
But like CSK was really my first crew. Shout out to my sons, man, especially my sons, man. They keep me going throughout every single day, you know, like, shoot, man, there's just so many people I want to shout out, man. I got to shout out, she might listen to this, so like, I gotta shout out my boo, you know, like
no question.
She's back in Mexico, you know, so like just let her know I love her, I miss her, and all that stuff, you know. So
I love it,
man. Every artist got a sore spot, a sore love, man.
Yeah.
Well, we wanna thank you for joining us, man. I think this was an amazing episode, amazing show. Thank you for everything you do around the community. Last episode, I talked about mental health and giving you that information. I think it's easy to digest. I have all of it. I think it's easier to digest it visually. So with this podcast, I will have everything, all information that you need. And again, as usual, like Angel said, you can reach out to us at any given time if you need some help, whether it's for you, your children, whatever it is. But I will provide those contacts and everything that we have, all the abilities that we have that you can, you know, even if you're not sure, you know, that you can go talk to somebody and say, hey, you know, maybe I just want to make sure that I'm okay. I will post all of that for you guys along with this podcast when this podcast drops. So I just want to make sure that I stamp that. So,
and also, like I said, we're going to be on every show. We're having a dedication to this conversation, and hopefully that dies some of that tension down, and we're not losing our youth because we're going to take more action now. We're not just saying something and then we just let it go. So every episode, we're dedicating a part of this show to you as well. So just so you know that. And I love the fact that we're about to air our next episode, number 6. So we're getting closer to never giving up. Yo, shout out to Eddie though, man. Thank you to the Paint Slingers. Thank you for bringing that awareness of why street art is important and it's not just vandalism. And this was an amazing show, so thank you for showing up, bro.
Thank you so much. Thank you for everything you do in town. For any of you out there who are looking to be creative in any way, if you have any kind of idea, if you have any kind of passion, if you have any kind of thing, first of all, let this man be the example to you. Just go do it. Go do it. Go do it for the whole world to see. Care about it. Be passionate about it. Give us a call. Get good enough at it. We'll bring you on the WyOriginal podcast. We thank you so much. We have been your hosts. We got to get out of here.
Thank y'all for having me.
Yes.
Good shit, man. Appreciate you coming on.
Number 6, all right? Number 6. The only thing is, we got one more thing. We always take pictures.
We gotta hurry up. I gotta
No, it
go.
don't matter. It's just like quick pics for every episode, bro. So I think that was a good show. That shit was fire because it was like we got a lot of details out. You know what I'm saying? Like we got the message